Hey, hi, it's me. So, the iPhone 12 is a little bit behind. And by a little bit behind, I mean a lot of bit. Want tech news in a way that doesn't suck? Then hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications because you're stuck inside right now. You don't got a choice. Why, hello there, welcome back to Front Page Tech, of course, the show that gives you all the latest tech news from one quarantine, that's here, to another, that's over there with you. This is the show where we just pretend like everything's fine. We just do the show as normal, just a tech news show, just pretend everything's fine. Do me a favor, though, and keep your sticky ass, dirty ass hands out of here. Thank you. It's a really gross sound. All right, let's do the show. All right, so first up for the day, story numero uno. We're actually going to talk about AirPower. Yeah, you probably never thought you'd hear that name again. Since the weekend, you probably saw a bunch of articles about AirPower, how it's actually not dead. That Apple secretly, internally, has not given up. They're still trying. Oh, but this article in particular is my favorite. It's on the Next Web, and in the article they said, so why is Apple's AirPower charging mat back in the news? Because of a tweet. One tweet that not only caused several news pieces, but also this article. But what tweet are they talking about? What tweet could have possibly caused all of this? Oh, would you look at that? It was my tweet. That's me. I did that. Yay. Yeah, old Jern is back at it again. Tweeted this if you missed it. First tweet was a couple days ago. It said, AirPower isn't dead. The project is back on internally. No guarantee that they'll finalize and release it, but they haven't given up yet, and they're trying to re-engineer the coils to displace heat more effectively. Prototyping is underway. Now, it's back in the news. I leaked this almost like a total year to the day that Apple actually publicly canceled AirPower and said that it didn't meet their standards, so they weren't gonna make it. Oh, but you know Timmy, they just won't accept defeat. They just won't do it. They refuse to lay down. Now, I know there's quite a few of you probably like, well, why is AirPower so special? Like, why? So many other people make wireless charging mats. Why is AirPower so special and so difficult to make? Well, people, physics. Cause physics. Unlike other charging mats of literally any other type, AirPower doesn't have just 1, 2, or 3 coils where you specifically have to set a device in a certain area on the mat. If you look at this patent for the original AirPower, the outside conducts electricity, and also the inside has a bunch of overlapping coils. This effectively allows you to place a device anywhere on the mat and it will charge. Like, you don't have to fight with it, there's no specific area, anywhere on the mat. Of course, they're Apple, so they can't just make a regular smegala charging mat. Nope, they gotta Apple it up and just fill the whole thing, try to make it super user-friendly, and try to make it seem like magic. But it turns out, magic overheats. That's exactly why they canceled the project. They said it didn't meet their standards, and by didn't meet their standards, they meant that it was overheating. They were not comfortable or confident enough in this project, in this device, to ship it to customers that will then find that their phones, their devices, their charging mats overheat. They had quite a few prototypes that Apple employees were allowed to have and use around the office and test for themselves, and a good portion of them, pretty much 90% of those employees, were having issues with the product. So that was it. Like, even after announcing it publicly, they then canceled it publicly, announced that they couldn't do it, they gave up on the project, and that was it. The legend was dead. Until now. There are 2 or 3 promising prototypes that they are working on right now. The issue is that currently none of those prototypes offer support for the Apple Watch due to the overheating issue. And Apple refuses. They will not release this thing if it doesn't also charge the Apple Watch. It should support all of Apple's products that wirelessly charge, including the Apple Watch, especially the Apple Watch. So they're re-engineering it from scratch. Yesterday I gave an update on Twitter and said this. They believe this is necessary. The reason they aren't giving up on AirPower is because come 2021, 2022, around that time frame, they want at least one portless iPhone. And they believe that having a charging mat like this that seems easy and user-friendly to their customers will help push the idea of a portless iPhone that, when it comes out, will seem weird and foreign to everybody. You know, the customers are gonna be like, where's my cable? I was fine with my cable. Why'd you take the hole away? I just want to plug it in. Back with the original V1 of AirPower, the code name was Callisto. That is still the code name for the project even today. So project's back on, they're working on it again internally, same code name, Callisto. So as you see here back in the patent, you see all of those transmitter coils like just closely packed and overlapping together. The idea, at least with these current prototypes right now, is that they're having less coils inside, but they're a bit larger. They're trying to avoid that overlap that is creating the overheating. Also, on the original AirPower, the outer material was like a modified silicone. It wasn't silicone like you're used to. It was Apple's special, fancy silicone material. But I'm being told, even though they are testing other materials for these prototypes, the main material outside that they're using right now is like a white dyed leather. So it looks the same, but should hold on to some heat a little bit better than silicone. So if you saw AirPower all over the news again all of a sudden, that's what I know so far from some sources, a few sources pretty high up and working on the project. So either way, you guys let us know. Like I said, this is not guaranteed that they're going to release this. They're having enough trouble just getting it to work themselves, let alone get it ready to release to all of us. But I'm curious, if they figure this out, are you excited? Are you excited that the legend is alive again, that it's not completely canceled? Let us know down in the comment section below. Gotta be honest, it would warm my heart. I wouldn't buy it. I won't buy it, but it'll warm my heart. Not like, overheat my heart like it's been doing. It would warm my heart if they just could pull it off. I'd be happy to see them not give up and finally release it. So next up, YouTube is doing a thing that, what a time to be alive. This started out in Europe. They announced that they were going to do this in Europe, but now just for everyone, site-wide, YouTube is going to reduce the default video quality down to standard def by next month. So no matter how the video was recorded and uploaded, whether it's 1080p, 4K, or if you're MKBHD, 8K, because you're crazy, you're going to be watching it in 480p. If you didn't know, that's standard def. I know it's been a while, but that's what we're going to be working with. To help demonstrate, this show is recorded in 4K, but it's downscaled and uploaded in 1080p, so you watch it in 1080p. This, what you see right here, this is downgraded to 480p. So this is standard definition from Page Tech. This is what you're going to be used to seeing next month. Not terrible, especially if you're just watching on your phone. It's fine. And some of you, probably a lot of you, are used to watching videos like that anyway. The good news is you do have an option, at least right now, according to YouTube. You will still be able to watch videos in HD, but you'll have to manually select that option. So no matter what you watch, how you watch on a TV, a tablet, a phone, your laptop, doesn't matter. You're gonna see it in 480p. If you want, though, you can bump that back up. But John, that's crazy. Why are they doing that? That's what you sound like. I'll tell you why. Because of the current global situation that we all find ourselves in, since we're all at home and we're all using the internet, like a lot, to help reduce strain on the internet right now, that's why the YouTube takes up a massive portion of traffic all the time, every day, all day. So this is, I guess, their way to contribute and give some relief to the internet that is overstimulated right now. It's like an overstimulated cat. Again, what a time to be alive. Not a big deal. It's just one of those things that we gotta put up with. There are worse things happening than 480p YouTube videos, so we should all just chill. It'll be fine, and it'll go up eventually, someday. Or not. Maybe they'll be like, kind of like this, and then it's just 480p forever. Okay, last up, packed show today. Let's talk about the iPhone 12. You've heard me say rumblings of this before, but I got an update from my sources at Apple, and so I give it to you. Open your butt. What? I'm just gonna put the information in there if you don't mind. So Apple's supply chain is improving a bit. I mean, even Bloomberg went on to report that it seems like because of the supply chain not being so restrained right now and getting back to work over in China and other places, that the iPhone 12 won't be delayed. It'll go along fine. And as much as I love and respect Bloomberg and Mark Gurman, that is incorrect. That is not true. So yes, supply chain is improving a bit. People in China are going back to work. That's just What's going on right now? Even though the BAP started there and spread literally everywhere else, it has effectively run its course. Cases are slowing, decreasing over there, so people are starting to get back to work. So even though production for parts and units that are already finalized is back on and starting to ramp back up, the issue is that the iPhone 12, yeah, not finalized. I hate to tell you, but even though production is back on, iPhone 12 prototyping isn't done. It is not finalized. The issue is there's about 2 or 3 prototypes for the iPhone 12 that they're currently working on. Apple has to travel to China to oversee those prototypes and work on the prototyping for these devices and finalize it and give what's called the product verification. The issue is that there are travel bans in place. There have been travel bans in place that haven't allowed executives from Apple to go to China to go ahead with that product verification, and they absolutely refuse to do it like on a call, over the internet, on a conference call, anything like that. They want to be there in person for obvious reasons, security and stuff like that. Prototyping for the iPhone 12 has literally been on hold at this point for about 2 months. So no matter what the production lines look like, the point is the iPhone 12, all iPhone 12 devices are literally already 2 months behind. Mass production for these devices, per usual, every year starts around May. But listen, this isn't gonna make it. And since they're already 2 months behind, at best we're looking at a 2-month delay for the release of this phone, which isn't exactly unheard of. We've seen this before. You remember when the iPhone 10 came out in 2017? So even though the iPhone 10 was announced at an event in September, it wasn't actually available. It wasn't released and ready for us to buy until like November 3rd, I think. Hang on, let me do a quick Google. Beep, beep, boop, bop. Yep, November 3rd. November 3rd, 2017, that was the date. Good job, myself. So yeah, not like the worst news, but also not the best news. That's just the state of things right now. 2-month delay at best. So at best we're looking at like, even if it's announced, even if the iPhone 12 is announced at a September event, we can expect to see it in October or November, somewhere around that region. Now, if you're playing along at home, you're paying attention, this also means that since prototyping for this thing isn't done yet, that the leaks, the renders, all the stuff we've seen so far is based off of stuff that isn't finalized yet. So don't get your little nerd heart set on any of these features. Don't get mad if the phone comes out and it doesn't have the feature you were looking for. That's not Apple's fault. That's your fault for, we believe this is what we do. We believe the hype and we get disappointed. That's the rule every year. The leaks and the rumors are likely just a combination of literally all the prototypes that they're working on. So I'm still curious to see what happens when it's finalized and when we start to see the actual device. I'm assuming the product verification will happen within the next month or 2. Let's hope for the best. Man, this is pretty cool, huh? Like literally every episode of Front Page Tech, we have an exclusive Apple leak for you. Where else do you get that? Pretty cool, I'd say. It's been fun. I hope that like Tim Cook doesn't smite my sources. Unless it is Tim Cook. And that's the show. Hopefully you liked it. You learned something. If you did, hit the like button. If you hate my stupid face, the dislike button. That's for you. That works too. If you're new here, subscribe. Everybody, stay home, stay safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow.